what you code. Fields of green on a glowing screen. No dirt, no sweat, just the farming scene. He sows his seeds where the mouses glide. The sun sets soft on the pixel sky. He's got no mud on his boots, but he's got virtual roots. Farmer Taz, the virtual king, harvest dreams with a digital swing. Clicking and tapping, watching it grow. Farmer Taz, you reap what you code. No barns, no hay, no tractor rust, just electric sheep he learns to trust. He's farming futures, bite by bite, in a cyber field that glows at night. Farmer Taz, the virtual king, harvest dreams with a digital swing. Clicking and tapping, watching it grow. Farmer Taz, you reap what you code. You reap what you code. You reap what you code.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome in. We are live. Randy, good evening to you, sir. Good to have you in here. Hope you had a great week. Now, this piece of tractor has been pretty loud. But for in cab, it looks okay. We're actually going to drive all the way down here. We're going to start with the field a little further away and work our way back to the main farm today. Just realized I hit my wheel again. Anybody else been having issues with that uses a wheel with the dead zones changing? Or I should say, dead zone still remains, you know, most of us I think set it to 0 or 1. It just seems to be all over. I recalibrated the wheel, thought that was it. I'm just curious if anybody else is having issues with it. Cooking along here. Thank you, Randy. Definitely feeling better than I was last weekend. I don't know what that was. It was like just a weird GI bug or something. Came out of nowhere. So I did do a little adjustment down here. No, Creek, don't be mad at me if you see this. So earlier we were driving up there because we didn't know how to really get into this field. So I built this little ramp. And it is a hefty one, but it works. Get our new speed till unfolded, ready to go. We probably should get the beverage cracked open before we go any further. Just gotta shift some things around here. Trying the tablet on my left side of my steering wheel now instead of my right. The only thing I find is that's where I usually hold my beverage that we're cracking open right now. So that should do it. Now let's see if we can get a GPS here set up. Really not a lot to this field. They want me to go 2. I'll say fine. Drop it down. And it swung me over to the other one I wasn't even aiming at. Lovely. We'll till this corn up. The other thing I was looking at is, I don't know if we have to do anything with it. Soybeans. Did we? We did not sell our corn last time, did we? There it is. Yes, sir. I did not do what I think I did. Oh, I was thinking about this today too. I told myself, I hope, you know, being the farming simulator player that I am, I would not accidentally. So that's corn. We need to get propane. Okay. That's going to be the same with that one. Change output mode. Storing, activate. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to fill those with propane, because I don't think I've actually seen anybody fill them with propane yet. We're going to actually raise this like we're supposed to. We're going to try to pivot if we can. Get on the track we wanted earlier. There we go. Speed tills are quite nice. Personally, I like the rest else. Still trying to work on the one had an FS22 and bring that over. Change some of the logos. I do know Retro is also building one. Not sure what size and capacity. Actually, I haven't looked at it. I thought it was the 40-footer, but I could be wrong. Because I know mine was the 40-foot. It wouldn't hurt to have some of the smaller options as well. Because like this right now, this is a nice little pole. And it's actually floating pretty well in there. Alright. As I said last time, I was gonna try to touch this up. That works well. Looks like we did miss one more row right here. Bogged right in though. It should be the headlands from here. Hopefully all the audio sounds good. Looks like everything's kind of coming through nicely on my side. Just running out of power here up this hill. We'll probably switch out a cab for the other fields, but I just want to do this way. If you guys haven't checked out, by the way, a little shout out for the Farm Sim guy. He has been doing an in-cab experience, testing one of the other versions I think a lot of us have talked about, Beam. He had a video before on Beam as well. I think some of you that might have followed when I talked about head tracking and free options, Beam was one I said that was probably, for the price, the closest next best option when it came to quality to Toby, and without the price, essentially. Thanks, Randy. So, Beam is worth checking out. Like the free one I shared, it's a little, it helps you tune it in a little more. Still got to play with the sensitivity somewhat too, especially turning around. And then as always, when you're using the head tracking step, make sure you have a well-lit room. See, I like to play with low light. It just feels better to me, but yeah. much did we miss there? Looks like we missed the whole corner. We'll come around and clean up the field edges, I think. Jump out of cab. Oh, yeah, I'm missing a little bit here and there. Definitely dropping a gear right there. Almost got a front weight for this to really hold it down in the front to push it through this. But we'll have to swing around and clean up those edges down there. Didn't realize quite the washout. Lane, I'm doing well. How are you? Did you have a good week? Good to see you in here. I remember that, Lane. I think you were telling me that 2 weeks ago, give or take, that you were also on here. I'm the same way, Randy. I love saving the money. I think because we kind of had trouble getting in down there. I think I'm gonna swing around, clean this up. Now, Lane, did you say you were over at the old red farm, right? If I remember correctly, is that where you set up, or you set up further away? I really do like that old farm feel that New Creek set up with the red farm. Alright, so that is knocked off there. Very nice. How far have you expanded your farm since we talked 2 weeks ago about it? Any new equipment or new to you equipment on it? And then back to you, Randy. Yeah, I used a Logitech one. I think was like 5 years ago. Maybe was $15-20 at Walmart. And that's always, I mean, it's always done the job. It's 720 for the pixels, but it's quite impressive. Oh, there you go, 9610. That's a nice little workhorse of a harvester. All right, let's fold this up. And we're gonna slow down. So this one I don't think's long enough, but the Bentner one, when I went to fold this, it got caught and snapped me right around. And Lane, if you decide to come down and use this field, here's what I fixed their solution from the previous week. Built this little ramp right here, just smoothing tool, and actually smoothed up pretty easily, and threw in some gravel for the pathway, and bam, in and out of that field so much easier now. Let's get all our flashing beams on here. People are gonna think the cops are coming. Very nice. 9380. How strong of a Alice Chalmers did you have? Pleasant View Farms was in here. He'd be quite delighted. Even though I haven't seen him bring over any Alice Chalmers for FS 25 yet. At least that I've noticed. So this is ours right here. We're gonna swing on in to this section right here. And we're gonna get this going. So what I actually want to do in this field is I want to change the direction. See, it's telling me go that way. We don't want to do that way. Bingo. shut our lights off too here. Very nice, very nice. Good to see that. Yeah, I think the 8550 is the one I've seen a lot of for the LS Chalmers. For FS25, that is. And I know there's a few bad versions out there of the Chalmers. I think I've seen a few on no, I was gonna say Mod Network, King Mods. There we go. Should be able to just swing these around. A little fast. Probably could slow down my cruise control. Is what I think we'll do. We know we can max out at 12. Oh, we're gonna put this on 15 for cruise control when it wants to swing out. So we won't hopefully turn as fast and try to get up to 30 miles per hour. This smaller speed tail should do that right there. Go pretty well in those little washouts. See how long it takes us to work all these fields over. Quite a few to do. Kind of a little bit of an angle, but we'll at least get the pivots. Starting to look nice, I hope. Wow, doing this field at night, and we had all that corn before, I did not realize how much this all dropped off. This is pretty impressive. Get that float in there. There we go. Trying to find that other gear. Hopefully, not too much maintenance. We did buy this V-tail. It is bought new. As you can see, we're down to about 428,000 in the bank, which I just remembered. We need to swing over and look at how we're gonna fill that propane tank. So we'll use this as kind of a close point. Open our menu here. Wait, propane tank was back here, right? Was there not a propane tank? Oh boy. Do we have to drop a propane tank? Remember, there used to always be an option to buy propane tank when you get it delivered. So if I came in here and I say I need propane, right? How does one buy propane? That is the dilemma we are in. So let's go to containers. Nice little lizard mailbox there. Wright County mod. That's a fuel tank. Fuel storage. Fiber dash, chemical, community well, sure. I mean, what I'm curious is, can I place just any propane tank? Tools, sometimes there, no. Definitely not in farmhouses. Silos. Is it an Array County silo? That is the question. I'm hoping we have a working solution to this. I realize now I've never seen anybody use these. Or I know they've used them, but I don't know how they resupplied them. Colombian red top auger filling. Nice. Not gonna help us in this situation. Okay. So, okay. Alright. So that's that. That answered it, right? So, I mean, how? Yeah, I get it overlaps. I don't really, not too worried about it. Photography mode. I mean, we kind of have it right there. Like, right? That's not gonna hurt it. We're always learning something new. Guess that probably should have actually been on the back. No, that looks like that's right. Propane. Activate. We have no materials, nor do I think there is a way to fill said materials. Let's, when in doubt, always just turn on the interactive, right? And there's no interactive. How does one fill propane? Distributing. That seems to be an option. Hey, let's hold on here. Okay, there's nothing there. Set to distribute. So now my question is this. Where do I scroll down here to the P section? Propane. Well, were we supposed to add something else to this map? Can somebody clarify that? Potato chips, parsnip. No. Goat cheese, cracked corn. Then we do not have run a train. That's great. Chula co-op propane. There it is. Oh, shucks. You know what that means? That means we need to purchase a propane tank. Wonder where those would be. GPS antenna for the JM. Interesting. Shipping container. Lovely. Love to see that. Here we go. It'll open. It has to be where it is, right? Propane tank. Fuel tank trailer. Wow, did not think of that until now. Water. Don't give me propane. I didn't even know what propane looks like, for being honest. I'm gonna say it's none of those either. Semi-trailers. Nada. Checking the trailer column. Nope. Well, here's. I just went right back to it. Let's go back here. Construction. Factories. Propane tank. Looks just like that. Okay. That's what we're looking for. That symbol. How does one, per se, move Maybe there's a propane tank in here? Yeah, no. When in doubt, trust the slurry spreaders, right? None of these are gonna have it. Transports. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't remember needing a special tanker for this. So that'll take in high. Bingo. That little one takes propane. That's interesting. True. And you know what the other option I'm thinking of now too, Randy? Might be, can we just buy? I mean, my thought would be we buy it. It's crazy that that liquid tank is the one that holds it. Liquid fertilizer, weed-free, nutrient, herbicide. Darn, it's not in that. Well, we're in the barrels. And it's just the John Deere? That seems broken if you ask me. There's gotta be another trailer for this. There's no way they'd have us do all this work. Consumables. Not that it would be in that one probably, but yeah, no. Category consumables. Propane. Show me propane. Come on. This would be no. anhydrous ones there. Well, that is just unwell. Oh, we got one other option. Let's go down to... We already looked in barrels. Miscellaneous. In here. I'm actually shocked neither of those would work. I'm just very confused that it's only that. But maybe none of these will support it. Okay, so with that said, we now have a tank down, right? Usually you can just purchase it. I mean, maybe I'm missing something here. Outgoing, incoming. Well, we know what we gotta do. That's what I was thinking too, Randy. I remember that they had totes and they also had a specialized barrel trailer. Unfortunately, here, not seeing them. But I am also wondering... None of those deck trailers work. We'll have to revisit that because that is a moneymaker we need to have. See, I thought for sure one of these, but I'll have to convert one over. Luckily, the liquid tank right here tells you they can do it. So therefore, we'll just use that. I'm just making sure, taking one more gander that I'm not, like, missing something here. That is really weird. Alright. Oh, actually, you know what? While we're down here. That's anhydrous, right? Yeah, it's anhydrous. This propane. Maybe there's a way to, like, force distribute. Yeah. We are not lucky. So interesting that one piece of equipment is all that can do it. How much does that even hold? 2,000 liters. Like that right there, I would think would work. Well, I'll have to modify that and get that sorted. Because that is frustrating. Not that it'd be in big bags, but we'll have to come back and there's not any of the wrong categories. All right. Back to the grind we go. That is very unfortunate. We'll figure out something. Yeah, Randy, I think that one was modified by DJ to do that. But hold on a second. But I copied over everything from Judith. To here, because that's where these two are. These right here. We're gonna try something. Capacity, standard, double fill capacity. Let's do it. Let's buy. We also got the financing mod on here. We're gonna buy it and we're gonna test it out. I cycle through all that equipment. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Let's see what's going on here. Maybe it's just not showing the icon and still works. Because you are right, Randy, that it was the Abbey. And it was included in the map pack. So that makes me think it should, unless the name configuration is different. And that's why we're not seeing it show up here. But those Albies did work. Or Albies, I should say. I always call them Albies. But we're gonna run that over. We're gonna do some testing here. What is a live stream without some testing? Some research. Alright. Well, you can't collect it from over here. Those strips do look nice. If you do say so myself. Put the flashers on. So everybody knows we're rolling. High speed up here. High speed. No, I do remember that, Randy. That is a good point. And I'm trying to think in my head. I know that's what this one is. This one came from Judith Plains. Because I pulled a lot of those mods over to this series. And then just cleaned up a few others. Because that's why the finance one is still in this one. That's because I pulled them from my Judith Plains mod folder. Hopefully this works. I'd like to see it work and get that process going so we can make some money on dried corn. Because I believe it's January is the selling peak. Yeah, let's try not to tip this over. Quite the foggy little morning, but nice out. Alright. I have to go this way. Scale pit 1, 2. Well, we're gonna just come around, okay? Just gonna come around. I don't think these work because it doesn't show it being an icon selectable. I do. I just don't like to use it, Mark. You know me. I try to avoid it if I can. Well, actually, you know what? Silage additive water, milk, UNA. What is UNN 28? 32? No. Also does not allow me to use it, so it allows all those. Also, Mark, good to see you in here. Oh, you were active the other day posting in FSG's Discord with the forward clauses. So that did not work. My only other thought. You cut that one. I mean, the bigger one's just bigger size. All the same specs. What is UAN 2832? That's my question. Too bad the wood barrel didn't support it. I mean, I'm about to easy debit into this trailer. But you know what we can do? We're gonna keep this little trailer to pay for it. We're gonna drive back. We'll stand next to the tank. I should be able to fill the tank because I don't think that part of Easy Dev is broke currently. Because that'll be the next challenge. Is the last patch kind of switched things up with Easy Dev a little bit, but I think it'll still work. Also, my seat looks a little beat up, lopsided. Come on, descend it. So I guess, yeah, we could try to easy dev that tank by standing on it. Or we could easy dev the factories too, go into the console mode. Just don't like to do it that way. But, oh, by the way, there's Lane's farm. Everybody wave to Lane. Hit the little wave emoji in the chat. We're going by his farm on Ray County. That's where he's over at. He's got himself a nice 9160 on the farm. Love seeing that. Oh, bumpy right here. Almost too sharp. This corn's all in over here. They're still in the field over here. We can use this for liquid fert later. Liquid fertilizer, or I'm trying to think of another option. One icon a little off there. If I go over here, what am I picking up right there? Reserved vehicles. I don't know why I've done this. That makes sense. It might be what it is. Reload propane tank. That's not what it's supposed to be, but it just reloads the ID. Tip to trigger. Right there. Here we go. Split shapes. We don't really need that. Tip to ground. Can't tip that. Farm products. So let me drop propane. It is not general. Not there either. Crops, big bags, mods and DLCs. No. Propane. Looks like we've run out of options here, folks. We will have to modify one of those tanks. Because I don't think there's any other option I can remember correctly in here. I think everything else is set. Console. That's the only thing I can try. You go over here. Production point. Propane tank 11. All right. Set fill level 11. Forget what level of fill that could be. We're just gonna say 5,000. Fill type name, propane. Duh. To identifier, propane. We're not typing it in right. So let's go fill types. That was terrible typing, by the way. Try this again. Have the identifier. We know it's 11. Propane, and then we'll throw in the 5,000. Boom. Oh, you are correct, Mark. I realized it when I went back that I was not completing it. Thank you. Propane, we're good. It should be distributing now. Yes. We should be back in business. Okay, there we go. So we had to use console commands, unfortunately. We're gonna get a tank in here, though. We will get a tank. Whether it be the Abbey or if we get another row crop special's got a nice little propane tanker. We'll have to probably grab that. Is that not cleaning out in that? Really? Guess we just missed it where that washout is. Yeah, thank y'all for sitting through that moment there of trying to find out I'm gonna get the propane. I thought EasyDev used to have a thing you could stand by a production point or a tank. Maybe they did and they get rid of it, but you could just, you know, fill what's in front of you. But console command still works too, which is nice. I don't think I've had to use that console command since Alma and FS22. That was after the map got updated in FS22. I had to refill my productions. And not that too much has changed in the sale market by now, but ooh, of course, vertical tillage. We do not have the firepower. 150. That is 300. That's a nice little tillage equipment though. Sunflower. Mark, how you been? Been a while. I mean, I haven't really been in a lot of Discords lately either. Just busy in the real world till we hit winter, which is coming up. So be a lot more farm sim. That's why we're getting back in the habit of streaming a little bit. Hoping to eventually hit the 2,000 sub mark and, you know, meet Giant's new partner program. We're getting there. 3/4 of the way, just about. Well, 2/3 maybe. Get rid of the course play because we're not using it. I still need to change that keybind. So we got this field, we've got that bean field over there, the cornfield back here. Got a fair amount of work. That cornfield over there is going to take a minute. We're going to truck along and hopefully knock all this out. Through the gears here. Interesting. YouTube has recommended me for the Farming Simulator page for active live streams. Is nobody else live streaming? Because I feel like that'd be the only way right now. I'd be on the front of that. I know. Once I had moved to a PC many versions ago, Farm Sim, it was a big difference. I think Randy is the same way. Having a PC is nice. trouble with the misses. So swing it around. I just saw today, so custom modding said they were going to release, well, it was actually yesterday, the accumulator in 516 John Deere, and they said, you know, first it'll probably come out for PC through their Google Drive, and then hopefully a mod hub release, but they won't be releasing the Google Drive until the 19th. A lot of people, I think, took that as it's going to be on mod hub. But it was just one of those things of like, it's a little more challenging to get the release on on mod hub for console than it is to get it out there for PC. And there's people that are quite upset over it though. But I always think the amount of work you gotta do. Alright, we should be able to swing this right around. Oh, don't go in the flower bed. Don't go in the flower bed. That'll be quite bad. Hopefully we get this field done during the stream. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we'll be in over on the beans and knock those out. Or we could, technically, we could swing out propane probably every hour it distributes, so I'm not too worried. Get those fields over here, 23 and 12. Maybe those smaller ones we could probably knock out. That one field, 12 in the corner up here. I think it's 12. Yeah, 12, unfortunately. There's a bunch of corn that was left in that corner. That was a failure, but maybe we get these done around us, the bigger ones. Or could go knock out the small ones after this field. Still missing lines. Probably miss a little line there too. Every time we do that little swivel, we have to come back and do some cleanup. But we'll definitely get this big one done. We've got the one down there done. I really wish we had another bit of firepower. We don't really need to run the speed till with the beans. I would love to run the Massey, take care of the bean fields. Place one over there. This is working pretty well. Over there, you get a little bit of the washout. I'll have to touch up. But what other options? To the wrong. So the Massey 6 is 150 horsepower. I do not think there's anything in the mulching stage that even aligns with that. 270, 350, 210, 130. Do I go with that? 5.6 meters. Is there, I guess there's that. That's too powerful, too powerful. I mean, that trailed harrow would do it. Just really don't want to Blizzard Trail Harrow, that is. Lumpkin. That's a pretty good timing switching that out too. I'm thinking maybe we do run the Trail Harrow on it then. There's nothing on this side that really will really do it. Like that's 4.5 meters. This is 180 and it's still not big enough. I'm thinking we're gonna have to get the trail harrows on it. It's just enough to rip up over there. The soybean fields. That's what we kind of need to happen right now. I think that's what we'll do. Let's get this swung around and then send the Massey to probably get work in that bean field. And then I went right back in the wrong column. For some reason I thought there was other options in here. Like the Bedner's not even, excuse me, the Bedner's not even capable of running on that Massey. There's no other, I mean, we could spend more money, I guess, and go to this 975. One track, that's not gonna work. Nope. That is less horsepower. Obviously, that's a lot of horsepower. Will be broke. That's not going to work. All right. Trail hard is. That's what we're gonna go with. We're allowed our one worker. It's $10,000. 9 meters. And it's only 100 horsepower. I don't even know if that's going to have enough weight on it. Like, look at this thing. It's just, let's, buy it. You know, gonna be curious to see how this works actually. Although we got all our fertilizer, solid fertilizer tucked away in that for winter. Did get that taken care of off camera. Yeah, I thought about it. What I want to do though is I need to take the finance mod out of here because having that and the hired purchasing, they seem to conflict a little bit where you end up paying double no matter what. So I think I'll probably take that out after the stream. And get our flashers on. We got a big chunk of a loan coming too. But definitely the hired purchasing. The only thing I wish I really like hired purchasing in comparison to the finance mod. I just wish you had the option to pay off amounts at a time, not the whole shebang. Try not to get hit by a car this time. Love an old Massey Ferguson. FS19, I think that was one of the most used pieces of equipment I had was Massey Ferguson's. Then you had the Versatiles, obviously, but Massey Ferguson was very common. in my series. And in my standard plays off camera. Right. So here we go. Let's see this thing. So just unclip that chain, like so. And put it in. Oh yeah, that's nice. That'll do just fine. Alright. I'm not worried now. That looks good. What we want to do though is we're going to take that field work down a little bit. Looks like I didn't have any course set on this. Sounds about right. Tools. One. We want to do 2 headlands. You can start on the headlands. We're going to take it down a couple notches. And it should work out pretty well. 36 minutes to do this field. I do like how it's looking. Not sure what we're going to put in this field. Got to do some precision farming setup on this stuff as well. Probably should use the built-in configurator tool as well. I guess actually, no, we did do precision farming. We know what we got. That's right, because we knew what our yields were. Oh, perfect. Alright, let's knock this out. We need to get this field done. Nice. Glad that's working for you, Randy. Yeah, I never had any issues with it. The other issue, everybody's saying store deliveries. Oh, and we're off the GPS track. Store deliveries is the one that was popping up for a few people in Simulation Station's Discord today. And yesterday. You know, knock on wood for me, I played around with it and tested it on a separate save and was not having the issue people were stating they're running into. So I don't know if it's something else of having the similar mods in the mod folder, if it's a certain script. I'm not sure. I've kind of stayed away from realistic weather right now because it does seem to pull a lot of the front end stuff and rewrite a lot of things to align with it instead of the other way around. But I'm still using realistic livestock. I think there's an update coming up from that. I know Scroft had a video a week or two ago about it, so interesting to see what comes from that. Really got artificial insemination now, which will kind of be nice, especially if you're running a beef operation. But overall, you know, like I said, knock on wood, hasn't been too many conflicts I've seen so far, or even experienced. But I've also been using the FSG mod assistant and really monitoring what it kicks back as no-goes, and you know, for the most part I'm not adding 100 mods a day, so it helps to be able to go back, and any mod that's not from essentially Mod Hub, I do some testing on. I know AG Farms has a nice grain bin system, so I gotta test that after. Hopefully put that on a RAN. That'll be nice to have now that we're expanding the land on that map. Nice. Yeah, and there's a few things that always sneak through, but I feel like Mod Hub, I at least know, okay, I added this and this and this. So if I didn't add anything new that wasn't on Mod Hub, you know, narrows it down. I sort a lot of my stuff by add dates as well in my mod folder, so instead of sorting by name type. But I'm glad you got that working, because I think that's a great mod, the used vehicles. Extreme. Gives a nice option. So we got a few spots we'll have to come back over and patch up. I'm not sure. I might be able to run one more side. Get this thing in gear here. But I think I can run down that outer. But I think what I want to do is actually go through and touch up the spots we missed in the middle. But I could also do that at the end. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, it will. Oh yeah, there's definitely one. Well, let me get on the GPS track here. It's fighting it. So this should run right down. Then we'll kick into the headlands and, like I said, have one of the big fields done. Question is, do we jump into the one right there and try to knock that out before the end of the stream? Turn here. And now we will start our headlands. Away we go. Oh, there's no real big strips. I want to get rid of like those big ones, but little ones like that, a patch here or there, I'm fine with. It should be pretty cleaned up on that side already. Come around. Here, because we had already overlapped earlier. Quite interesting to see what DLCs will come out for next year for Farm Sim after the Highlands. Still looks like the straw one is having some issues too. I haven't seen anything that's like groundbreaking, but it seems to be occasional discussions of it, which I still think is what's causing the whole fill type missing moment. Because Randy, I had that happen even on the Farm Sim Games servers. I also just completely botched that, by the way, as we drove around it. So what I'm gonna actually do, because we're here, we're gonna clean this piece up. But I was doing a red beet harvest and no beets were in there. And the light kicked on and told me I was full and good to go. Alright, so there we go. Cleaned up that little bit. I'm not gonna get all that again. Try and navigate these edges here. piece of it. I slightly miss. Haven't got any alerts, knock on wood, from Massey worker over there, so I'm hoping everything's okay. Making a swing around here. Yeah, I remember a few. Yeah, Mark. I feel it had a lot of issues, and it looks like a lot of those same ones have come back again with creating other issues for other mods. And I haven't really paid attention if DJ Goham and Farmer Koff had been using it still. I know they initially were to showcase it, and then I think DJ Goham's series, I think he took it off. Because I don't remember seeing it the last time I watched his Riverbend series. And I mean, it's a lot of changes when you get something like the straw harvest or like pumps and hoses. That was one that really changed a lot of things. I think we saw a lot of lobsters hose systems break because of that new pump and hose system. And Wobster had what I thought was groundbreaking already and pretty impressive, so I'm not trying to take anything away from Creative Mesh. Did the pumps and hoses correct? We already had the manure system, which was pretty impressive. So hopefully, I mean, it always gets sorted. Sometimes it just takes longer. I'm just hoping that all parties are working together on it. And, you know, eventually I'd like to run a series that, you know, had the straw harvest and those kind of options. But right now I just don't really see anything out there for it. And then, like I said, you just see some of the things that kind of already come from it. And you're like, yeah, is it worth doing it? And further possibly breaking the game. And it'll get tuned in. I mean, the thing to remember too is we're in year 1 of FS25 release, and most games that are going to be 2-3 year games, that's what seems to happen, is the amount of patches that get rolled out to fine-tune everything in the first year takes a minute. We're going to swing around right here. Get another patch cleaned up. I'm gonna actually go down and get this other one too. I think a lot of these concepts too are very great, and you know, like I said, it's not easy to get things to align sometimes with the engines. But I think having that creativity and pushing those limits is a great start. But it just goes to show how there's so many variations of how to play Farming Simulator as well, that it makes it hard to really test all possibilities. I got a few patches, but honestly, pretty solid. I think we got direct drill on for this as well, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. Gotta keep the steering wheel online here. what I need to do is like I do with course play, I need to turn down my width. So there's always a little overlap. I don't know why with the GPS I always leave it to its actual width when I know that it's going to leave gaps like this. It's a user error on my part. Because it would reduce a lot of that, you know, turning, missing sections and stuff like that. But we're just about done here. I don't see anything too crazy standing out in the field, so we're going to just knock this out. And there's our warning, blocked by an object. The Massey is navigating something. It's probably over by the fencing. I think we're going to take this over to field 12. Try to knock out those little fields. I just want to make sure we're doing the fields that we wanted to do with the lines that are working in there. So we had corn in 12, 23, 27. Did we only have one soybean field? We really did only have one soybean field. We already tilled 45. So I do 12, 23, and then probably can sneak back up. That should get it there, yeah. Now, you're right, Randy, but I will say what's funny is, was it a couple weeks ago, I was driving through a county just below mine. There's a lot of horse farms there. I actually saw, it wasn't the crone though, but there was a pull-behind baler that essentially created the pallets for horse feed. It's the first time I've ever seen it. I didn't know that they were even, like you said, in the U.S. I haven't really heard of them being in the U.S. I mean, I imagine they were out there somewhere, but it was just interesting because I've driven by those horse farms. I've never seen it. And then I want to say like 2 weeks ago, that's what they were doing. I saw them, like, wow, that looks like a big, big baler. And then I kind of look closer and I'm like, no, that looks like it's like offloading pallets. I want to say it. I think it had a Heston tag on it. But the color pattern was like an oxbow. But I think now it did say Heston. Yeah, so we'll get our little mess that we created here cleaned up. This field shouldn't take too long. Probably wants to like just clean this section up. There we go. Yeah, I don't think it'd be so much dairy farms though, Randy. That's what I'm thinking, because like I said, where I saw it the other day or the other week, it was at a horse farm, one of their meadows. I don't know if we're gonna make the pivot here. We're spinning in the mud. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture. Of what that one looked like. I can maybe show already. Whoop. That's a sharp turn here. We're doing headlands on this one first. And I might regret it. Get in the groove here. So it looks like Crone is still the primary North American one for it. But I think the numbers I saw... That can't be right. Am I gonna mess with this here? Get lined up here. Richie Heston. So it's not the actual Heston Baylor, it's somebody with a similar name to it, I guess. So that's what I saw. It's like a greenish yellow, not like Crone, but like kind of the oxbow colors is what come to mind. That was the first time I've ever seen one up here. I know most of the time there's just usually it seems people just buy bags and pallets of the straw pallets and hay pallets for the horse feed. It was interesting to see. I have to look and see how much those cost. Yeah, that's quite the specialty job. Now we got an alert that our Massey is done yet. Hopefully not caught up in a fence or a tree. Probably should have went and looked. Oh no, we're tipping. Living on the edge. Let's hop over here. The Massey is still doing work and not a lot of green left on this side. They might have done a better job than we did on field 29. Question is, can we beat them and knock out this field and the next field before they're done? I don't think we can, but we're trying. We have a speed tiller. Yeah, I imagine, Mark, because even the Krona ones are quite expensive. So imagine any other brand that even tries to compete with it is probably still marking up quite a bit. I do wonder what country they're most common in, though. For like the Primo Krone. I wonder if it's like the Netherlands with all the metals they have that they harvest. They must make pallets. I was just off the mark. I like that one strip. We'll get that on the end. We gotta go back that way anyway. That is quite the strip I did miss on my alignment. These other ones we should be able to blow right through. Have to figure out what we're going to get for our planter and what we're going to put in. Kind of see what we make for money, I guess, on corn first. Is dry corn worth it? Remember when that used to be big? Was it FS19 dry corn? Like the prices were like night and day. I'm trying to remember too. Did Fusion bring that mod to FS19, or was it FS22 he brought it in? I think it was FS22. Him and Loki. Corn dry mod. And Enhandress. I think it was FS22. I could be wrong. It could be FS19 because that's how long it's been. Alright. What I'm going to actually do is clean this little section up a little more on the corner. Even though I would love to just do some land clearing here and, you know, square this field up a little bit. Not too much, but get a little more maneuverability here. There we go. Only 40 degrees right now, November. Which actually, for Ray County, probably not too far off. Yeah, that's what I thought, Mark. I thought it was towards after like the first year of 22, but I could not remember. I feel like 22 came out of nowhere, and then it was just all a dream after that. Alright, we're not gonna get caught in a ditch and tip this. There we go. Might try to stream tomorrow. Not sure yet, but might stream my workings of the United Farms online servers. Kind of show everybody what that's about. If not, I'll at least make a video. Pretty cool multiplayer setup. Let's see where this one's at. 6 minutes. Can we beat this? This actually looks pretty decent texture-wise behind it too. Let's see if we can cut into that time. How much of this field we can knock out here. And we still definitely have another half hour of work we can do. So, goal is to get as much as we can done on the tillage side. Over here, productions. Oh yeah, propane is in. Oh, propane went in every one of them. I have to look at the pricing after too once we get another straightaway. See how much our dry corn will make us compared to standard corn. Which I think we might have looked at that the previous stream. Just can't remember. Alright, this should be a nice little block. Let's go down to dried corn, the $3.85 max price. Don't like seeing that at all. Corn $3.33. That's $3.86 peak. So I'll make like $50 more. I mean, for the price of our propane, it's a win. I will say, when I was doing that, what was that series I started FS25 out on Ola's map? I don't know why I'm drawing blanks today. I want to say that was building the mega farm. But on that, the reason I bring that up is because it was just cracked corn and cornmeal, I think, were the two things that towards the end of that series I made so much money on. I could not believe how much that make. And they're in here, obviously. So you like get dried corn there, cornmeal, that's what it was. 1,098, 1,053. That Pioneer cornmeal maker and cracked corn maker, it's just unreal how expensive those are. I think if I was to ever actually try to use that factor again, I think I would fine tune the pricing down a little bit. Because that just seems extremely high for the amount of cornmeal you get out of it. Let's see how well the speedtail flexes here. It's going to get pinched. I got through it. And while we're here, obviously, let's go see. Almost done. Don't really. It's just the one soybean field. I mean, I could try to run them on that cornfield, I guess. Could probably put them on that cornfield right there. Or send them off on a contract so they make that $10,000 we spend on it back. This one will do a reverse turn on it so we can get relined up. Maybe not, because the course is not going the other way. That is frustrating, and I am not going to do it that way. We're gonna try to stay within our lines, which we will probably not do well. I'm gonna shut the lines off because I don't want to see the lines. I don't know why it would have me, unless it's stuck to the previous degree that I had set the other field on. Which is probably what happened. But no, we can do this one. So I can swing this around quick enough. I'm getting bogged down. To clean up what was left. And I'm just going to kind of run that tire on that last set of stocks just outside of them. I think that's pretty good as a point. And also get the stocks up here, but should keep us pretty in line. And there, finish the work on the soybean field. Love it. I really need to change that key point on the mouse. So I'm not always pulling up our course play tab. Be nice if a planner came up for sale. Pretty good one. Got 408,000 in the bank. But you know, a little room to work with. Got loans and purchasing tools, which I now realize I need to take financing out sooner than later. I wonder if that's why we lost an extra like 50,000 the other month as well. So I have the hired purchase on and finance. Excuse me. This field not taking too long either, so it's nice. A couple more passes will be done this, and just gotta work that last big field. Which actually, I think I gotta put the Massey on it. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, just broke a chain. Everybody just saw that. It definitely just snapped back. How do you miss? I'm so confused. This one piece right here. These things do scare me. It's like the Elmer one. The BC Bueller released. It's just like, you know, that cable. You're just waiting for it to be like, snap. Oh, that's not our field. This is our field. Now my question is, how well will this work in the cornfield? Will this be enough? Yeah, it's fine. We're gonna bring it down to 9 here. I mean, it looks like it's pulling pretty darn good. And then I can even get over there with the speed till and work the other side. I mean, that's 9 meters. I got that at, this is at 10, but we set this to 9 and jump right into that leg with it. be fine. And we have 2 pieces of equipment knocking that field out fast. Which is the goal. Have it all done before midday. Here in Wright County. Question is, can I still get up through there? I think I can go up around the tree line. Cut on my own property, then jump over to the cornfield. Or no, I don't think we can get to it from there. I think a big ditch. It's a grinding kind of busy stream night, is what it feels like. We're in the stuff that can be a little dirty and tedious, but gotta get done. Definitely enjoying Wright County. Usually the maps I like are usually a town somewhere on it. Kind of give it that extra feel, even though the one I've been working on for Vermont, not really a town to it, but trying to figure a way to make the green points feel a little more alive. We're gonna swing and see if we can clean up some of this. No, gonna get jammed. Alright. Last bit. And then we're gonna try to sneak up through the fields, I think. Without getting hopefully stuck in a ditch. See how much more of this we can knock out on this other field with 2 pieces of equipment working it. I'm just gonna raise that and hopefully not bottom out anywhere. Yeah, close. A little bit of a drop there. I know that's where we can't get through. That's where we tried to earlier. Once you go around that corner, you can't get across it. There must be a contract on this field next to us. I feel like it wouldn't just be left like that. I could be wrong. Yeah, well, like I said, we'll cut over to ours. I'm just gonna go right across ours. Like I said, we'll probably set this to 9 meters. It'll be interesting to see what course it gives me. Oh, I'll go GPS here. No lines on. I want it to kind of be in line with what we're seeing here. So, I mean, that looks like it's all tuned up. I mean, I think that's the It's alright. You can get this section taken out, or you're gonna get hung up anyway. Get all this worked in. Get some strips out in the field. The two of us on this field, this should go pretty quick. I'm hoping. I also just realized propane tank over there. Mess that up a little bit. A lot of deer out here. I feel like since the last patch, the wildlife has been quite robust everywhere. It should send us right through the corner, which is what we want. All the way to the end, then back up. We just want to start to get some strips really worked out here. Help us speed this process up. Looks like he's backing up over there. That's why it probably just takes a little bit longer. Really working those corners. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go back up and down. We got plenty of room still. There we go. It's got a nice flex though, definitely coming through these washouts. So I'm glad we did buy this speed till in this size. We're kind of limited on the power of our equipment anyway, but I'm glad it was this one. Because it does flex quite well. I'm sure the Kinsey does well too. Especially the one that Hispano Modding released. The question is, when the mass gets up here, what point is it going to start on? It's going to be doing the inside ones. It's going to be over there. That is what I am curious about. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, hit this next little section that says we can kind of hit. Drop it and run it right to the end, and then we'll work with split rows up there on the other side as well. Should put us in good shape. Not still too much thunder from the Massey. Which will clean up that strip there. Once he gets done the headlands, I'd assume he's going to be pretty fast. I don't know why it's taking so long to work those, even those rounded corners. Oh, we're on two wheels again. We're gonna go right back up. Why not? We're flying along, and they're still working that corner. Then I'll just do their strip, and hopefully it'll start on a little section. My luck, that'll probably come over to the big section. Actually, I'm now looking at it. It most likely will come to the side. At that point, I may just take them off and move them to a different point and have them work that. But honestly, they're taking forever to do the second headland. They're really working those corners. Get the downhill run going would be moving right along. Oh, we just keep getting stuck. I don't know why that's jamming over so much now. Interesting. That's kind of what happened a little while back. Where the pivot got caught and it did not want to turn. Just have to go wider. I suppose it doesn't snap anything. A little wage payment. So the other piece should have us run right up that strip right there. I have to work one of these sides. But now I can feel like I could go over there and really start working up and down those small pieces. If I knew that one was going to go back and work up that section before it did this section. But I have a feeling it probably was going to pick this section. Nice wide turn. We're going to leave it down as well. We'll see what the Massey does after it finishes that headland. Finally, I'm glad I came over here with the speedtail because a lot of this field would not have been done by now. And it is taking a while to run those two headlands. It's still doing your backup mentality. Kind of hoping it'll come down here and do this section for me. Then I'll just knock out the rest of this. We're in pretty good shape. Not even noon yet in game. 41 degrees still. What does that worker do? That is the question. Where do they go from there? Show me where you're going next. Going right to the end? Looks like we're going right to the end. this around and we're gonna go right there. And yeah, looks like they're dropping it right in there. So they're gonna just repeat what I was already doing. Because they're gonna run an angle, that's right. They're gonna run an angle. So no hope for that worker. They will do that bottom corner. One would assume. We're just gonna kind of let them go. We'll take care of this part and then work down there. We'll probably pull them off too. Actually, you know what? "31 minutes. So here's this waypoint, right? So where I actually need to go start this is up here. You can start it right in the corner, and this might work out. I hope it does work out, actually. You come off this corner, run it up and down, and it should be good. Keyword there, should be good. Bingo. And we'll knock out this side. Every time it gets going, it always kicks my GPS off. I don't know why it does that. I'm just gonna keep it down. Doesn't want to tip as much when I keep it down. Soon I want to tip it because I try to turn too quick while lifting. Still might be able to go down there and help them finish that other half. We can't just have a stock sticking up here like this, though. It looks pretty good, though. Looks like it missed a little bit at the end of there. I see a strip. Goes a little ways. You can clean that up with the speed till after. I just know we're not gonna really need to come back. Try not to tip this over. Trim this side, which I guess goes pretty far down actually, and we'll swing around and go right through it all and probably drive through that little island. Randy, have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for supporting the channel as always. And thanks for all the feedback and comments you leave. Have a good night, buddy. So I'm thinking I can drive right through here. Like so. And then we're going to drop it again. Yeah, there looks like to be a little bit of a GPS there. So I'd kind of clean up, we'll erase that other one. It's kind of our last task of the night. Definitely do some cleanup over here too by the looks of it. Glad I went this way because he's going to swing right back up that way. Hoping no collision. Cleaning up a little bit of mess down here. We'll get that strip. And that'll be good to go. I mean, they might have a little bit up here they gotta touch up on, but that marker is working. Now that they're not doing the headlands anymore. The headlands are just taking them way too long. But looks like a solid job here. I'm happy with it. Yeah, we're gonna clean up their section and they are done. Drive this back to the barnyard. We gotta buy a pressure washer. That's the one thing we gotta do. Set that up. Can't remember actually. This one of the no, these workshops don't have it. So realizing the tree branch just about inside the harvester. Alright, so for now we can kinda leave this over here. We'll revisit because we gotta clean up. And that'll do. So that worked out nicely. These pivot above the ground, okay. Probably should have still waited. I keep doing that prematurely and we get pretty lucky that we don't end up with an incident. I'm actually just going to follow the previous tracks by the 400. And then we'll put these back in the yard, but I mean, this is kind of a nice little investment, I guess. $10,000, it did pretty good. Definitely you can see where it struggles backing up with the Massey. But we can only do so much, right? But we got all our tillage done in one stream, and it was just over 2 hours. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. Next, we're going to have to look at the pH levels and nitrogen levels. But we're good to go, I think, for today. We'd get it all done by noon on November, which is quite nice. I'll probably turn those markers off now. which I actually am going to do, so it saves that, because we don't really need them. I'm just trying to see if, we're doing something wrong, but no, we're good. We are good. Anything popped up on sale in the last hour? Oh, whoa, truck, chemical. Oh, I was going to say, if this says propane on it, I'm going to be frustrated, but we looked at all that. So we do need to get a tanker into the game that works with it. Judith Plain definitely has some, which pretty sure that's what those two Abbeys that were further down in the menu were. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Glad to have everybody in here tonight. Mark, Lane, Randy, you guys lit up the chat for me. I appreciate that. If you enjoy the content, make sure you smash that like button. And keep an eye out for another live stream coming soon, along with our Realistic Farming series that plays Tuesdays and Thursdays. Take care, everybody. Farmer Taz out.